Well, I am going to bring you all the babies. I had 42 or 43. Amy's got 39. So we're going to get to the bottom of who we're missing. But I think as it's fresh in her mind, fresh in my mind, I want to go over what took place at the Lexington sale. I know I did a little overview video the other day, but I'm going to run through them a little quicker just to tell you briefly what I saw, I liked about the horses, and why I purchased them, what I think they were worth. And there are some horses here that were pretty close to fair market value. I don't think we underpaid for them by much, if any, but good horses nonetheless. There were some that I thought we grossly underpaid for, and we're going to start with one of those right now. Horn Player. This is a New Jersey January 20th foal, sister to O'Brien Award winning sire, and all around really good horse. Alarm Detector. So, Alarm Detector, again, O'Brien Award winning colt in 2017. He was the best, by far the best horse in Canada that year. And in the second dam, you have the Dan Patch O'Brien Award 2-year-old trotting colt from 2004 in Ken Workington. So you have two world champions for the most part. Now, I know Alarm Detector wasn't a world champion, but he raced on the world stage almost all of his 2- and 3-year-old year. This is two horses that raced on the world stage and did very, very well. One of them made $902,000, the other made $325,000. Very strong filly, and I think I was approached by a number of people that thought we grossly underpaid for this filly, and I agree. I think we did grossly underpay for this filly. Very nice filly, very happy with what happened in regards to Horn Player. I documented it very well about how we acquired this filly. Wasn't really on my list, but was on a list that I had and that I knew very well. I really thought she'd bring 85 or 90. I wasn't willing to pay 85 or 90 for her, but at 45, thank you. I'll take that one. The second horse that we bought was obviously Una Madonna. Very rarely, you guys have known me long enough by now, very rarely do I fall in love with a horse. Fall in love with the price, fall in love with a lot of things, but falling in love with a horse before sale is bad for business. And I loved Una Madonna. Now, we had horses before Una Madonna, and quite frankly, if one of those horses had fell in our price range, I would have been forced to pull the trigger, and we would not have ended up, we may have anyway, because she went for 100, but we may not have ended up with Una Madonna. I was just so impressed with this filly. Her presence, her breeding, her video. Her video, my take, my 2 cents, her video was the best video in the entire Lexington sale. There might be people say, nah, I like this one, I like that one. It's all personal preference, but I looked at every video that I thought was worth looking at in the sale in Lexington, days 1 through 5. This was by far the best video in my mind. So Una Madonna, just so pleased we could pick this filly up. At this point, we're off to the races. I'm super pumped about day 1. And then in comes Pinkmans Brother by Tactical Landing. Now you'll fast forward to later in the sale. I bought the Muscle Hill filly from Landing Strip's sister, right? I'm pink too. But this was a big, gorgeous, I told you guys what would happen, right? We were going to do business in places that were a little obscure. Concord Stud Farm had Alarm Detector's sister. A bigger consignment in Harrisburg, but a smaller consignment in Lexington, and I think they fell into that smaller consignment sinkhole, that financial sinkhole that is some of those smaller consignments. They just don't get paid as much as they should. And, you know, I suspected we would be able to do business in this manner, and we were absolutely able to. And I think it really played into our hand very strongly. Concord, Midland Acres, Spring Haven. Crawford's got a good consignment, but this was an embryo filly we'll talk about later. Winback, again, smaller Peninsula, Walnut Hall. These are all smaller consignments at Lexington that we did business with, and I think it played very, very well for us. Landing Strip, there's no other way to put it. Midland Acres got underpaid for this horse. Again, much like Horn Player, Landing Strip was on my not my short list for that day 1 horse, like Una Madonna, who was on the top of that list. This is another horse, like Horn Player, that was on that day 1 list of horses that potentially, as I was whittling them down, as I was cutting players from the team, Landing Strip was part of that last cut, and so was Horn Player. So to get these 3 horses in day 1 and falling into a budget we could afford was fairly incredible in my mind. I went from smiling to giddy at this point. Now I'm saying, okay, we're pretty well done. Then I look, there's another Tactical Landing filly. Now, I had this filly priced at 45, And I probably, to be fair, at this point, we had 3 tactical landings. We got everything we wanted so far. Was tactical mounds a necessity at 45? No, probably not. But at 27? Now keep in mind, fast forward to day 5 and how crazy those prices were for those horses. Okay horses, ridiculously low, high prices. We just got a tactical landing filly. A sister of hers that was a Chapter 7 that I loved last year was bought for $110,000 in Sweden by Swedish people and exported to Sweden. That was not on the update for this filly. You look at the updates, there's no talk of this filly. There's no talk of an exported horse. There's nothing. Did that hurt the price? I don't know. I believe so. We'll see, I suppose. But tactical mounds at $27,000 was maybe the easiest purchase I made. I was on pins and needles. When Una Madonna was in the ring, I was laser focused on the board and, can I afford her? I was certain she'd bring 300, 320. Keep in mind, a horse that I liked quite a bit less than her had just brought 200 in number 39. So I didn't think we could afford Una Madonna, but 100. Yes. And then to get tactical mounds at 27, like, I was pumped. This is our day one. You couldn't script a better day one for me. And then towards the end of the sale, a colt that really wasn't on my top list at all. He was a horse that I priced at 50 when I looked at him. When we looked at Midland Acres, we pulled this colt out. I said, he looks like a $50,000 horse. Keep in mind, Muscle Hill stud fee for this horse was $30 US. $30 US. The second and third dam is super strong. First colt, second foal, out of a Donato Hanover mare by Muscle Hill, by Muscle Hill himself. This is the cross everybody's looking for. This is a beautiful horse. I don't think I would have bought him for 50, but how don't you buy him for 25? That's the end of day one, and you couldn't script a better day one for the stable.ca. 5 horses on day one. 5 horses we wanted on day one. Is incredible. Come into day 2, Amy said, honey, Anthony, is there any way we could get Cutie Cumber? I know she's a Chapter 7. She'll probably bring a lot. She's a full sister to help us on the way, but she is an embryo mare. And you know what? You know what people are like about those. I said, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Amy. Looked at her video, went and looked at her, made a video of her. 50 was what she was worth, given the embryo angle. If those 2 words were not below New York eligible, mark my words, if those 2 words were not below New York eligible, embryo transplant, this is $120,000, $130,000 filly. As sure as I'm sitting here in front of you. 1,000% sure. It's funny because, I know a lot of horsemen. I got embryo, I don't want anything to do with them. It's just ridiculous. I had one of them around me. And then I had Tom Grossman come up and explain that lots of the dressage and Olympic horses are embryo horses. You can't do it in the thoroughbred world, so it's not talked about that much in the harness racing world. It just isn't. And I had a veterinarian come up and talk to the same gentleman, explain that it has nothing to do with it. How you raise that embryo when that foal is born, where it's raised, who takes care of it. Those are vitally important things. But when you look at Cutie Cumber, that's an athlete. That's a beautiful filly. Her brother was already a world champion, stands stud in Indiana right now. And in fact, we bid on one of those we bid on 3 in Illinois this year. Cutie Cumber, yeah, I thought 50 was pretty much it. I don't think I would have even went to 52, but I know what she was worth. It didn't say embryo transplant on her page. So yeah, fair market. I think given all the information I looked at, no, I thought she would go for 50. Her as an individual is worth more, but given what I knew about people and their thoughts towards embryo transplants, I thought 50 was fair market for us. Then I waited all the way to the end of the sale. Every year we try to get a pacer. Listen, we want to win races with pacers too. Everybody does. Yeah, we do good with trotters. Pacers are different. You have a good pacer, pace 52. Is a 2-year-old. Pretty good one, 51. Real good one, 50 and a piece. And one that anybody would talk about nowadays has to pace 49.50. It's just the way it is. Captain Treacherous, Sweet Lou. Stay Hungry's were strong, at least first crop. So you pretty much have to have one of those horses, right? I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, Shadow Plays had a great year in Ontario and on the world stage with Lawless Shadow, obviously. Ohio, down by the seaside, goes without saying. But Captain Treacherous is still one of the strongest ones. You line up all the best looking horses with various pedigrees on a board. Just put their pedigree pages on a board. All of them, now remember, they're all correct. They all have pretty good pedigree. They all look pretty good. Here, dart. That's one. That's ours. Or look for value. What's the sale average? How much do you think this horse will bring? It's much more difficult to price a pacer, right? You can't buy it down by the seaside. Don't bother. That's pretty clear now. You're not getting one in 2021. But that opened the door for a little slide in the Captain Treacherous market, I believe. And I think that little slide allowed us to buy Captain in the Air. Decent story. You go back and look at the video. I told you about it. You look at all the second dam, has 2-year-old marks at 53 or faster. 17 wins. 2 wins with a racing hill. You know, just mediocrely bred horses that did well, except for the Mach 3, 17 wins, mark of 51 as a 3-year-old, 53 as a 2-year-old, $250,000 made. You go up to the top dam, the horse last year qualified, this year, the 2-year-old full brother qualified in 56 come 26, 57 come 26, or 56 come 27, whatever, and then made 2 breaks and they turned him out. Clearly a fast horse. Third dam's Vertical Horizon, Lost in Time, the best horse of the entire year of 2017. So, good family, good pedigree, good looking horse. Really come down to value, $27,000. I thought the horse was probably 35 or 40. Thank you, that's our pacer. Happy to have him. Next is another filly Amy wanted badly, a burr hopping filly. I had her priced at 33. We got her for 30. Again, little below fair market, close enough to call it fair market value. This is the same family as Poof She's Gone. Now on the first dam, you have a Majestic Sun, a Credit Winner, a Federal Flex, and a Lucky Chucky. All took 2-year-old marks, all made money. This is a bar hopping and a good looking horse. Number 334, Leaps and Bounds. Very, very happy with Leaps and Bounds. Again, not the same hype I'm going to try and give you as any one of the day one horses, because this is closer to fair market value in my mind. But a very good purchase here. Another bar hopping. Super happy there. I'm going to skip over Steve's horse because I don't really know what we're going to do with him yet. Obviously, I thought the horse was a much better looking horse and had a lot more story to talk about than a number of the other horses that we didn't get or bid on. Again, first foal from a Credit Winner mare. The second dam had one that went in 55, took a 2-year-old mark, went in 55, 300,000 made. Another one made 131,000, 6 wins. The third dam has Lifelong Victory, world champion, Valley Victory with 20 wins. You know, lots to talk about in this family. Tons to talk about in this family. He only went for 17. And I only bought him because I looked at him for Steve and I thought the horse was worth more. What I do with this horse, I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to talk about him, but I'm not sure where he's going to land yet. He may land outside everything, and I might just say I'm going to keep him for a while, see how he looks, because I don't know. I don't know yet. So that's where we're at with Enzo Aguillo, whatever the hell his name is. Take very close note of the next 2 for sure horses I'm going to talk about. Merchant Man, this is the brother to Merchandiser. Merchandiser is the father of Grace. This is a very good family. I know that Bob and Greg had liked this entire line. It's a Brittany line. They loved it. I certainly trust their knowledge when it comes to the horses. I looked at this horse and scored him very, very high at the consignment when I went over and looked at him. I love this horse, but I didn't know where we would be standing at 386. Is this a horse we can afford? Is this a horse we want? You know, at 386, what have you done to this point is virtually what I'm looking at. I have absolutely 9.5 out of 10 for this guy. He was a slam dunk. I had him priced quite a bit higher than we bought him for. Very happy with him. I would say his fair market value somewhere around there. It's a Father Patrick out of a super strong family, somewhere around there. But I still thought we had a great, great pickup. Now, one of the best pickups of the entire day, in my mind, maybe the entire sale, is Carter Michael Deal. International money, first crop, don't know. Beautiful video, beautiful looking horse. He's a brother to a horse that I raced against with Lawmaker, who was exported in Taekwondo. Very good horse. French Bastille is in that line. Then in the second name, you have Chris Dream, Christ Dream, I called it. Crown Krista. This entire line. This is a good horse, well-bred horse, beautiful horse, great video. I thought this horse brings 40, 50, no problem. At this point in the sale, would I have been able to buy him for 40, 50? I don't know. It would have been nip or tuck. I really, really liked this horse, Carter Michael Dio, but to get him for 25, it just made my job that much easier. I think some of the best value in this entire sale was had with 401, or maybe even, well, looking at the first day, Tactical Mounds, Sure Strong, Landing Strip, and Horn Player. We did great. I'm obviously, it's unfair for me to judge me, but I'm super pumped about what we did here at Lexington. Then we had to wait quite a while, all the way to day 5. Now, I was very candid with Steve before we went into day 5. I said, I don't want to buy a horse in the he'll do or she'll do category. I don't want to fall into that trap. Day 5 will get you sometimes. Yeah, that one will do. That one will do. I don't want a that'll do horse. I'm happy to pay fair market if we can get a nice trotting colt or filly for one of the buckets in Ontario. Has to fit the financial bucket. Has to make sense. Has to be at least fair market or below. Has to. Can't do those 3 things. It's a no-go. I really thought as the sale started and saw these ridiculous prices on day 5, which the prices weren't shocking. They should have been, but they weren't. But when I saw these ridiculous prices, I'm like, come on. We're not buying any of these horses. It's impossible. So, that was that. Cunning Connie comes in the ring. Beautiful, majestic, or beautiful muscle mass filly. And my only dig on her, a little toed in, but so's Tipsy and Dixie, so's a ton of muscle masses. It's indicative of the breed. It's not the end of the world. Clearly doesn't bother Dixie any. Cantab Hall, the one last year, Carey Hill, I don't think raced. Let's look for an update here. No, didn't race yet. So this is a Cantab Hall mare, second foal from a Cantab Hall mare. This is a muscle mass, right? Second dam has one that was exported, $102,000 made. Third dam's where you're going to find all the stuff. You got Echo Hanover, $300,000. This is an old family, but a beautiful horse. Again, I'm looking at the individual. Yes, this is a supporting role. The pedigree, the video. The video is great on this horse. The pedigree page is good on this horse. Not fantastic, it's good. I had this horse priced at $20.25. We paid $21. That's fair market. It checked all the boxes. Good looking horse. Didn't have to have it, but fair market value was absolutely present. And I think Cunning Connie, you're not going to buy any muscle mass. Go look at the muscle masses, what they went for in Ontario, what they went for in Lexington. And if you think, Anthony, we should have maybe just held off and waited for Harrisburg, I can tell you how that's going to go, and you wouldn't have been very happy with it. So, Cunning Connie, if you find a better horse, you can wait. Mark my words. You can wait. And watch Harrisburg, and then at that point, somebody's texting me. At that point, you can see if we would have bought a better looking horse than Cunning Connie in Harrisburg. I'm going to go with a hard no. So Cunning Connie checked all the boxes. I thought that's what she was worth, and that's what we paid for Cunning Connie. And then the last horse wasn't really looking. I knew we couldn't buy an Ohio Trotter. I tried to grab one of those long toms. I tried to grab the Sergeant USA horse, Sergeant Reckless USA, or whatever its name was. Bid on that one. Wasn't really close on any of them. Had all but given up. I knew there was, why would I look for a $30,000 down by the seaside when 20 of them went for 6 figures? You're not going to find a diamond in the rough. In this sale, people are that zeroed in on down by the seaside. You're not buying one, right? And they're tough to race against. You want to beat one, you got to buy one. Well, I'm not buying one. Not buying one for $80,000. Not buying one for $60,000, $50,000. There wasn't one there that I said, geez, might be worth $40,000, could be a little better. That horse just wasn't present. So I went the other route. I said, okay. Fear the Dragon had a so-so first crop. I'd say lackluster first crop. But is there a good-looking Fear the Dragon with some decent pedigree that we could afford? I'm not paying $30,000 and chasing down by the seasides, but would there be a affordable Fear the Dragon in the 5th day that made sense, that if it didn't turn out that he was a sire stake horse, could he at least be a decent Buckeye fair horse? Why, yes, there is. Number 871, Real Fear. This is a Fear the Dragon, May 27th. This is a big colt for May 27th. So again, these are all angles that people don't pay a lot for. Keep in mind, Lawmaker was almost a June foal. So this May 27th, just look at the horse. Look at the individual in front of you. I'm not going to race this piece of paper or this iPad. I'm going to race a horse. Look at the horse. It's a beautiful horse. May 27th colt by Fear the Dragon out of a Real Artist mare. That mare is already thrown. 5 previous falls. Real Rocker. Real Rocker made $250,000, 22 wins. He wasn't a stake horse. He wasn't a killer. He was a grinder. 2-year-old mark of 54. It's important. 3-year-old mark of 51. Took a mark of 15.2, or timed at 15.2, sorry. Another 2-year-old down on the page, a Well Said. Well Said took a 2-year-old mark of 53 and 3 on a 5/8. Now, it's important, down in the second dam is Artist Stena. 573, 13 wins, 2-year-old mark of 55. Sign of Success, 2-year-old mark of 55. $483,000 made. Huge Success, 108,000 made, 2-year-old mark, 55 and 4. And then, for those of you old-timers out there, Ball and Chain in the third dam. That's right, Ball and Chain, 1.4 million by Albatross. Ball and Chain was when I was in junior high school. So old blood mixed with some newer stuff. But again, good-looking, big. Go watch a video. Good-looking, big, strong colt. Doesn't have to be. I don't have to beat any down by the seasides. All I used to do is make the races and be a good horse for us to have some fun. $14,000. That's a proper way to buy him. If you know you're up against it with a horse like, it was like when Captain Treacherous first came out and everybody's like, Sweet Lou landed on the scene. If you didn't have a Captain Treacherous or a Sweet Lou, is it no good? So, how do you get around that? You don't get around it. Just do the best you can. We bought a really nice pacing colt. In fact, looking back on it, I would take this pacing colt, even though I'm not a huge fan of Fear the Dragon, I'll give him a pass because it's first crop, okay? I'm going to give him one pass. But I would rather have this colt than any one of the other trotters that we could have bid on for even remotely what they went for. In fact, I was talking to Randy, one of our Ohio clients, at the sale, and he said, that's a pretty nice horse. No, it's not. That horse that just went for $47,000 is worse than every single horse we bought in Ohio. And that, yesterday, is a testament to actually how good we did in Ohio. When you look at how strong day 5 in Lexington the Ohio breds were, just go look at the videos and the pedigrees of the horses that went for all the money that were Ohio breds on day 5 in Lexington. Then just have a little circle back and look at how we did in Ohio at the Ohio Select. Yesterday, day 5, was only a testament to how lucky we were at that sale and how well we made out. And upon reflection, looking at what we did in Lexington, I couldn't be happier. We've had an incredible year on the track, an incredible year in general. And then when you factor in what we've been able to do thus far at the sales, man, I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't feel more lucky than I feel right now. So for those of you out there, don't participate in these yearlings because you think that I'm telling you these are great horses, because no one knows. No one knows till June or July. But if you're out there saying, geez, I wonder what we're going to get into, take a good look at what we did in Lexington, because I think there's some real value there. So that's Lexington. I will give you guys a video next week when we have all the horses for sure, because we do have some private horses that are on their way also, I believe. So I don't want to jump the gun and then just add and add and add. As it is right now, let's just say we got roughly 40. I think it's closer to 45. We got, Amy's list is 39. I know there's at least 3 that aren't on this list. So we're at 42 right now, heading towards 45 with a number of sales to come. I will propose this to you. I will need help between now and Harrisburg, paying off all these horses, getting them all sold out. If you can help me get these horses done before Harrisburg, we'll be in Harrisburg in full flight. I guarantee you that. So, thank you all again for all your participation throughout the year, throughout the years. Again, reminiscing as I did in my opening video, reminiscing as I did all week, and smiling. The stable.ca that was when it opened its doors, the Anthony McDonald that opened those doors with my wife Amy. Those are not the same as they were then. You've allowed us to turn the stable into exactly what I hoped we would, which is a stronger force, step by step by step by step. Every year we've got better. Every year we've got stronger. Every year the pedigree has got better. And it's culminating in a year that we had that was just incredible. So hopefully we can keep it going and keep it moving forward. And with your help, I hope we can. So with that, we're going to call it a fantastic, even though you had a flat tire and slept in the car like a hobo, don't care. It's been a great week. Wouldn't change a minute of it. I hope you guys had a great week too. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.